The attorney for adult movie star Stormy Daniels said that his client would not necessarily be pleased if former President Donald Trump was indicted. He made the comment when he spoke to CNN host Anderson Cooper on Thursday about the case that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has before a grand jury, Mediaite reported. As you know, the former president denies any wrongdoing. He says this was an extortion plot. Some of his political allies have downplayed it as a mere personal transaction, the host said. Is there any doubt, in your view, that the payment was designed to help protect his campaign? He said. Well, I think that reasonable people, knowing the facts and the timing, would reach that conclusion. I see no reason to believe otherwise, Attorney Clark Brewster said. What does Ms. Daniels want to see happen here? Would she be pleased if the former president was indeed indicted? The host said. Well, I don't know about pleased, the attorney said. I will tell you that, in my interactions with her, I have represented her now since March of 2019, she's always been very straightforward and truth-telling. And I think, more than anything, she desires that the truth be told and found by audio gap, and the denials and the accusations of dishonesty cease. So, I think she's more interested in the resolution of this being determined upon the truth, rather than anything else, he said. As you know, the timing of this investigation has been called into question, given that it centers around a payment from back in 2016, the CNN host said. Did Ms. Daniels think this was all behind her? I mean, not just the legal saga, but having to deal with the former president's insults, things like that, he said. Well, she's been through quite a lot, as your station has reported, the attorney said. I mean, she's been through the Avenatti Chronicles, the issues associated with a defamation lawsuit in California, as well as the non-disclosure litigation out there. But, more than anything else, I mean, she doesn't have any control over how this is prosecuted or brought to a jury in any way. She simply is there and willing to support and tell the truth, whichever way it decides to go, he said. If the former president is, in fact, indicted, and she was called to be a witness, would she be prepared to testify? The host said. Yes. She's made that very clear, the attorney said. She would be willing to testify, and she would support her testimony with documented documents and evidence and corroboration with witnesses, if necessary, he said. I also know you provided the prosecution with communications between the former president's attorney in this matter, Joe Tacopina, and Stormy Daniels from back in 2018, the host said. Can you explain, in kind of layman's terms, what those communications were about, how they may possibly impact any court proceeding? He said. Yes. So, Mr. Tacopina, audio gap, that he had never met Ms. Daniels and didn't have any attorney-client relationship. In fact, in February 2018, there was a fair amount of exchange between Ms. Daniels and Mr. Tacopina's firm. She had a number of not only conversations but extensive emails outlining details of this transaction involving the former president, as well as witnesses and a chronology and what took place, the attorney said. That series of written exchanges led to a direct conversation, a lengthy conference with Mr. Tacopina's firm. So, I would say that he's at least conflicted, to a point where he couldn't represent opposition on that issue against her, he said. But as both Daniels and her attorney insist that an affair happened between her and the former president, her own words have come back to bite her. In the letter from 2018, shared by Trump on his True Social account on Thursday, Daniels denies any affair ever happened between the two. Over the past few weeks, I have been asked countless times to comment on reports of an alleged sexual relationship I had with Donald Trump many years ago, Daniels said. The fact of the matter is that each party to this alleged affair denied its existence in 2006, 2011, 2016, 2017, and now again in 2018. I am not denying this affair because I was paid hush money, as has been reported in overseas-owned tabloids. I am denying this affair because it never happened, she said. I will have no further comment on this matter, she said.